I don't see her yet, but she is actually last on our lineup of speakers tonight. So we're going to go ahead and get started because we do not want to waste any more of your time than we need to. Not that this is a waste of your time, but we're all busy, busy people. And we are super, super, super pumped to share our stories with you and all about coaching. And it is just a privilege and an honor to talk to you tonight, especially to talk to you with Alyssa and Kimberly and Megan, and some of our other teammates are here as well. But we are here to tell you what we do as health and fitness coaches, but also to share with you. Sorry, I'm admitting people as I talk, but we are also here to share with you our story, and one thing, if you decide to join our teams, one thing that you will find is that your story is honestly your kind of like your secret weapon. It's what sets you apart. It's your God-given story, something that actually allows you to connect with other women. And so we're going to walk you through each of our stories tonight, and we're going to tell you what we do as coaches. We are going to explain to you guys who we're looking for to join our team, and we are also going to share with you, obviously, all the good stuff like how we earn money, what we do every day, how to sign up, what happens when you sign up. But welcome to this call. If you want to chat in the chat bar, if you want to type in the chat bar, tell us your name, tell us where you're from, who invited you here. That would be amazing. But I'm going to start with me, okay? So I'm Rachel Mitchell. I am a mom of two boys, 10 and 12, Henry and Milo. They're amazing. I'm married to Matt. We live in Mississippi. I am probably your least likely health and fitness coach ever. I struggle with all the things. I am like a volume eater. Am from the South where food is not ever really like, healthy eating is not taught. But, about, let's see, what year was it? 2014. God really got my attention with my fitness, with my health. My weight was creeping upwards. I was feeling really bad. I was unhealthy. My cholesterol was through the roof. My hormones were really, really crazy and out of control. And I just knew that I had to do something. I had to do something. I was a full-time college history instructor. I had two boys, like I said, and I was just kind of running crazy with no idea of how to take care of my body. And enter Beachbody. Honestly, I didn't have a coach. I didn't have a coach like, I didn't know about coaching. I didn't know about challenge groups. I just knew that I needed to get control of my eating. And so I literally sat down at my desk and Googled portion control. And when I did, I mean, honestly, I think it was like a miracle, but that was the same year that 21 Day Fix came out, and the portion containers, if you guys are familiar with that, these little color coded portion containers. And I just hit submit. Like, I hit order. I didn't buy Shakeology. I didn't have a coach. I didn't do any of that stuff. I just ordered the workout program that I pushed play on in my DVD player from my home, and I started to follow the nutrition plan. I did not buy Shakeology. I thought it was crazy. I thought it was stupid. I thought it was like, who would do that? Who would pay that much for powder? But I did the nutrition plan. I did the workouts. I got great results. And then eventually I started to look more into the program, and I found my coach. I found Shakeology, thank goodness, because it did change my life. And I got the results that I needed. I got the results that I wanted. I got the results that I didn't even know that I could get with my health and fitness. But more than that, I gained peace. I gained peace in my choices, peace in my results, peace in what I was doing for my body and for my family. And I really started to invite God into the process. And so whenever my coach asked me if I would be interested in coaching, I was like, no way, no how. I am like not cut out for leading other people. I'm trying to get a hold on what I'm doing myself. And I just continued to tell her no. And she continued to ask me. She literally was just doing her job, and she kept following up with me because I kept staying in her challenge groups. I kept drinking Shakeology. I kept doing the things that coaches do, which is just take care of ourselves. Like, it's just to work out. It's just to be proof that this works, and that to show up on social media and tell people what is working for us. And so whenever I did decide to become a coach, things really changed. I thought one of the reasons that I decided to say yes was because I thought, okay, this works. First of all, I've proven that for myself. I've tried everything. I've tried Slim Fast. I've tried, like cabbage soup diet. I've tried the tuna and egg diet. Like I've done all the things, but this actually works. This is sustainable. This is something I can teach my family to do as well as do for myself. And I really wanted to show other women what was possible. And I also realized for me personally, there was this huge gap. There was this huge hole where I had not invited God into this part of my life. And I wanted to help other people do that. And so when I decided to become a coach, one, it was for the discount on Shakeology, honestly. Two, it was because I needed that accountability in my own fitness. I knew that if I was going to start posting and start sharing on social media, then I was going to kind of have to level up in what I was committed to. And then when I decided to join, I was like, okay, she's going to tell me what to do. Why not just do it? And I started to build a business from my kitchen table, from my car in the car line, from my commute as I went back and forth to work. And so I set a goal every month, because my coach told me to help at least 3 people join one of our accountability groups with the workout programs, with the nutrition plan, with Shakeology. And I've done that every single month as a coach, just by being proof myself that this works, just by telling my story on social media, just by consistently doing the very simple things that we're going to talk about tonight, through our social media, running challenge groups, and inviting other people to do this with us. And I will say, I think that we're all going to share like how our lives have been different because of coaching. So about 3 years into coaching, I started to realize, hey, this is legit. Like I could do this long term. This income is actually like matching and surpassing what I was making as a college history instructor, and I was only working part time. Now, let me say, Team Beachbody does not guarantee any level of income. Every coach's income is definitely dependent on the work and the effort that they put into this business, your level of skill. It does not happen by magic. You absolutely have to work for it. But I did work. I worked in 1 to 2 hours a day in the pockets of my day. And I just learned how to use social media. I learned how to talk to people. I learned how to run my own challenge groups. And so whenever I say that coaching absolutely changed my life, it did, but I had to want to change it. And so about 3 years into coaching, I did submit my not resignation, because I do still teach part-time, but I asked my college if I could go part-time, right? And I was so scared to do that, because I knew that if I did that, I was going to have to like stick with coaching long-term and trust in that and trust where God was leading me. But I did it, and I'm home with my family. I get to homeschool my kids, and I never had that option before. That was never a possibility before. I work around my family. I work at the kitchen table today while we were doing homeschool. And it sounds messy and it sounds crazy, and it's not anything I ever dreamed of, but it is absolutely like where I want to be and what I want to be doing. And I love the work. Like I legitimately love the work that I do as a coach. And I know that if I love it, if it changed my life, it could change somebody else's life. And so it's just an honor to get to share with you my story. And now I think I am going to pass it on to Kimberly, who is going to talk to you guys a little bit. She's going to tell her story, and she's going to tell you what we do with social media and how that plays into our business. But I encourage you, don't be silent. If you have questions for us, if we don't make something clear tonight, like you have the opportunity to ask us questions, and we want to answer your questions. So type in the chat bar. We'll open it up at the end. But I am just so thankful to get to tell you a little bit about what this has done for me and what it could do for you. All right, Kimberly.
Hey, you guys. My name's Kimberly Davis. I have been a Beachbody coach for just over 18 months now. And I joined, Rachel is actually my coach, and I joined her back in, I think it was October 2019. And that summer of 2019 was kind of it was a hard season for me. I had like been dealing with a lot of anxiety. I was overwhelmed with little things like just taking care of my house. I have 3 kids who are now 9, 7, and 4. I'm married to my husband, Eric, and that summer was just, it was hard. I don't really know, like I can't pinpoint one thing that made it hard, but I was just in a place where I felt stuck. My weight had crept up. I weighed more than I'd ever weighed other than being pregnant. And I was totally uncomfortable with my skin, in my own skin. I was discontent. Like I just felt like there was something missing. I felt like God was leading me somewhere and I couldn't figure out what it was. Then on social media, lo and behold, this girl named Rachel showed up one day and I saw her sharing her workouts, and I saw her doing her, drinking her shakes and sharing her food, and most of all, sharing her faith in it. And for me, it was like a light bulb moment. And I don't know why, but it was like, why have I never invited God into this part of my life before? I'd always tried to keep it separate, and it obviously didn't work. And so I was like, okay, I want to know what she's doing. And so I remember messaging her, and actually, I think she may have messaged me, but I don't know. We started talking and I started asking her questions about coaching. She had asked me if I wanted to be in a boot camp, and I had already had access to the workouts like Rachel. I didn't use the Shakeology. I wasn't in a group or anything like that, but I was like, no, I don't think, I think I'm okay. I'm just going to do the workouts. But then I asked her about the coaching and I was like, okay, so what does it require? And I started asking her all these questions, and she was, patient and kind and shared all this information with me. And I didn't want to say yes, because in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, okay, I'm 15 pounds away from where I want to be. I don't have any transformation. I can't even take care of my own house. This is I don't want to do this, but I couldn't shake the feeling that I was supposed to say yes. And so I remember, telling her, I'm going to talk to my husband this weekend and I'll message you on Monday. And so I talked to my husband about it. I'm like, okay, so I have to she wants me to buy this shake and it's this amount. And he was like, okay, so if you're going to do this, you have to do it. I'm like, okay, so I'm going to try it. So I messaged her Monday morning. I was like, okay, I want to do it. I need, I can't say no, it wouldn't leave my head. And so I did. And she plugged me into her training and I did everything she told me to do. And I made it work because I wanted to drink this shake. I'd heard a lot about it and I didn't want that expense to be looming over my head. My husband, okay, you said you were going to do this. So I went all in and oh my gosh, it's changed my life. Physically, mentally, the community, the friendships, all around. It's amazing. And I'm so thankful that God led me here. It's just been a game changer in that, I don't regret it for 1 second. But so I want to talk to you guys a little bit about social media, and how we use that as coaches. So a lot of you, well, probably most of you here have seen us on social media. We're probably invited here through social media. And so that is our platform as coaches. That's how we share what we do. That's how we meet new people. That's how we invite others to do this with us. And so, in our stories, you see us use stories, you see us post every day. And I always tell people it's social media is our public journal or our diary, and we're just sharing who we are. We're sharing our stories. We share, the good, the bad, the struggles, the wins. We share it all with you guys because for me, I saw Rachel doing that and I related to that and it spoke to me and it helped me to make a change that I needed to change. And so, I struggle a lot with comparison. And I have for a long time, but coaching has really helped me to kind of step into my own story and own who I am and just be proud of that and know that God gave me a story for a reason and that he has people out there that are going to relate to that and he's going to use my story to help change somebody else's life. And so it's really cool just to grow and get to know who you are. I've learned so much about myself on this journey and just sharing that with the world and letting God use it and bless your work and use it to change somebody else's life. And so we share our workouts, we share our shakes, we share our nutrition, we share our coaching story, what it's done for us, what the struggles that we've overcome. But then we're also building relationships with new people. We're reaching out to new people every day and just being genuine and getting to know people. I know a lot of people say this business is about making friends, and it really is. And it's so cool because I have women all over the country that I have met that are incredible that I wouldn't have met if it weren't for coaching. And so we're not just reaching out to people and saying, hey, come buy this shake, come do these workouts. We're building relationships and getting to know people and what they need, and trying to help them achieve the goals that they want to achieve through this. And so that's mainly that's kind of an overview of what social media is. It's just your journal and your platform on how to reach people and how to talk to people, and invite them to do this thing with you. And I think is it Alyssa next?
Yeah, Alyssa's up next. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Yes, Alyssa, go.
Oh my gosh. I love you so much. Like when she talks about relationships, you guys, like there is nothing better that can come from this journey than the relationships that you build. And I could go on and on and on about that. But I'm Alyssa Amland and I am from Minnesota. And my story actually kind of goes quite a bit longer. I mean, Rachel's been in this for quite some time, but I've been introduced to Beachbody for quite some time. Like I was one of those people that back in 2012 was up at 3 a.m. watching an infomercial and Beachbody came on. P90X was the thing that was being advertised. I was feeling really low about myself and I was like, all right, well, obviously God's trying to talk to me right now at 3 o'clock in the morning. So what did I do? I got on my phone at 3 o'clock in the morning and I ordered the DVDs, the old school DVDs from P90X. And I said I was going to go all in. And as soon as those DVDs arrived, my kid arrived. There was nothing like a challenge group back then. They had the Beachbody section. You could go on the computer and you could log into the Beachbody community. If you had questions, you could do all that, but there was no such thing as a challenge group. So when I went into this back in 2012, I was literally doing it all by myself. And I dove in and I did it. I did it for 60 days and I got into really good shape. But then life got busy and I fell off track because I let everything else in my life get in the way of it. And I didn't have anybody there to hold me accountable for it. Like I just fell off track. There was nobody else besides myself that could push me to go any further. I didn't have a coach. It was like one of those things when you sign up, you're assigned to somebody, but I never connected with a coach ever. So I was literally by myself. So fast forward to 2018, I yo-yoed from 2012 to 2018, up and down and up and down. Every year, springtime, when the weather gets nice after winter and the winter blues finally subside, I would get in this big kick of like wanting to work out again and wanting to take care of myself because I loved how working out made me feel, but I just could never be consistent long enough. So in 2018, it was like after Christmas time, it was New Year's. I had been with a couple other coaches in the past that I just didn't feel a connection to. And a girlfriend of mine had known this other gal or was following this other gal on social media that was sharing her faith and she was sharing her workouts. And yes, that was Rachel. And she's like, you need to go follow her because I know that you can connect with her. You guys would connect so well. So I did. I stalked her for quite a while and I was paying attention to all the stuff she was posting. And I literally like felt a connection, like the stuff that she would share, like I felt God was really talking to me through her posts. Like I had hit rock bottom. I've shared this story with my team several times, but I've got an 18-year-old daughter. She was like 17 at the time, and we were shopping. We were at a Goodwill, and I hate to buy jeans, you guys. For years, I hated to buy jeans. I hated how they made me feel because I never felt comfortable in them because either I was always going up a size or they're tight, they're uncomfortable, and I never wanted to buy a pair of jeans, but I needed to because I couldn't fit into the jeans I had. So I went shopping with my daughter and I was in the dressing room and she was bringing me one size and I put that pair of pants on and they didn't fit. And I literally broke down and cried. She brought me in the dressing room and she was bringing me another pair of jeans. I opened the door and she looks at me. Her mom is on the floor crying because she can't get into a pair of jeans because she's so upset about how she let herself go. And then she's crying in front of her 18-year-old daughter, who she's supposed to set an example for, and is literally dropped to her knees. And I felt so lost. And she looked at me and she goes, Mama, it's okay. You can do this. You've done this before. And so I went back onto social media and I looked up Rachel and I connected with her. She was, I think at the time it was Transform 20 that was coming out. I hate cardio, but she was going to be starting this new group. And I said, all right, I'll do it. And then I knew about the being a coach, but I've done other network marketing businesses in the past. So I was really shying away from that. I just said, I'll sign up as a discount coach because I don't like to pay retail for anything, but I'm not going to coach. And then I jumped into Transform 20. I did all the things that she told me to do in the group. I posted every day, even though I hated taking my picture, but I did it because it held me accountable. And I knew that if I had to take that picture, I was going to do my workout, and I was going to do that every day. And as much as I hated cardio and I hated Transform 20, honestly, you guys, at the time I did, but only because I was so out of shape and I was so broken. But I did it every day. And I was just telling myself that now I'm going to push through. Like, I'm going to finish this program. All I can do is finish one program at a time. And that challenge group is what pushed me to want to start sharing my journey on social media and with other people, because every day I showed up, there was a group behind me that made me feel so much better for showing up day in and day out. And if it wasn't for that challenge group and my coach and my team, like, I would have never had the courage. Like, I never once thought that I would ever share myself working out in my stories. Never. I looked at it and went, really? Do people really want to watch me working out and sweating? Really? Like, who wants to see that? But I just kept sharing, and it just got to be the point where it, at the beginning, was just, it was my accountability. And then it was just in hopes to like inspire somebody else to be like, let's talk about this. You can do this. And now, like, it's been 3.5 years and I'm doing hard things, and I'm doing it because I've got a great group behind me. And like, you know, my topic is challenge groups. And as you can see, you guys, I get so fired up when it comes to challenge groups. It is my absolute favorite part of this business. I love being able to be in that group. And that is honestly, to me, the place where, like, you build your business, because, and it doesn't even feel like a business when you get into a challenge group, because you're there and you're there to help and to guide and to do what God is calling you to do. I feel like he's called me, even though I never thought about it in the beginning, that I'm here because I love to listen to people. Like, I know it's, some people are like, will tell me, like, you're such a good listener. And sometimes maybe I do it too much, because I don't mind listening to people's problems. I don't mind listening when somebody's struggling with something, because I want to be able to help them, even if it's just an ear to listen to, because sometimes that's all we need. And in a challenge group, that's where you can do that. And I love being able to build a community where people feel like they can lean on each other and they can dive in and show up every day and be accountable. So then 3.5 years later, they can be like, yes, I did this because the community was there and I had it, the support. Because you can do stuff on your own and nobody needs to know about it. Like Rachel, I think, put in the comments, I'm doing 75 hard right now. And I don't have to tell people that I'm doing that, but I do it because I want to tell people, and it holds me accountable. And I want somebody else to be encouraged to do hard things when you think you can't. So when we run the challenge groups and everything like that, honestly, I could talk forever about it because I love it so much. But it is my favorite part about this business. And there's so many tools that Beachbody offers us in running those as coaches. We can schedule posts. We can, I mean, I always set a timer at night to go in and check into my groups to make sure that people are going in. I go live in my groups to make sure that they are, you know, they see me. I share my morning devotion with them so they know how I feel God is speaking to me in that challenge group. And I just feel like it's such a good opportunity as a coach to be able to build relationships with your challengers, because that's what this business is about. When Kimberly talked about social media, we're building relationships, and challenge groups are just the next step to that. So I could go on, but I won't, because other people have to talk.
Yeah, I'm going to be closing us out here. So I'm the oddball out, guys. And this is what makes this community so amazing is I'm not on Rachel, Kimberly, and Alyssa's team. But Rachel and I met long ago. I've been a coach now for 7 years. I probably met Rachel at one of our many events. I don't even know how many years ago, but I've loved the girl to death from the day I met her on a Zoom screen like this until I got to hug her in person for the first time. And I'm glad I got to just hop on here and share. Not only, I love hearing other people's stories, like to hear Alyssa and Kimberly, and it just never gets old. Like hearing how this company in some different way, but in some united way, like we're all connected under the fact that this business has changed our life. And now we get to share it with other people. And that's the way I look at it. I have the opportunity to take a gift that was given to me and I get to pay it forward every single day. And I've been doing that now for over 7 years, which I feel really old saying that, but it still feels like yesterday. And I can remember where I was and how I felt and how I got started. So like everybody else, nobody here has a degree in Beachbody coaching, right? I actually went to college for finance and accounting, and I had this really big little girl dream to have this big city job with a corner office that overlooked the city, and I was going to wear a suit, and I was going to just be so successful. And in my mind, successful meant I didn't have to worry about money, and that's all I knew. I picked accounting because I thought it'd be really easy to get a job, and I knew numbers. I had no idea what I interviewed for on the day of my 21st birthday when I walked into that room. But I memorized the homepage of the company that I was interviewing for, charmed them, got hired, and still was clueless about what I was going to do 4 months later. I moved to the city. I had my office. I wore my suit, and I was blindsided when I was working ridiculous hours. I was in the city. I was by myself. And I still had these goals, right? Like I worked for an international firm. I was going to travel the world. I was going to climb the corporate ladder, and I was going to do all these things. And then this boy came into my life. It's my husband who's sitting in the other room. And all of a sudden, all these things came to a screeching halt. And I was like, I don't want to travel anymore. Like, I want to get married and I want to have babies. And like all these things started changing. And we did do all that pretty quickly. But the one thing that never changed was my desire to be a successful businesswoman. So baby number 1 comes along. I go on maternity leave. And every day people are like, are you ready to go back? And I'm like, no, but I'll get there. It's going to happen, no doubt. In my mind, I'm a businesswoman. And those 11 weeks ticked by, and I went to work like a lot of mamas do on that first day, back in tears. And I still thought that somehow it would get better. I was a public accountant. I had my CPA license, and I worked really long hours. And for the first 2 years of my daughter's life, I literally worked 60, 70, 80 hours. I'd go days on end without even seeing her. So when it came time for baby number 2, I was like, I can't do it. I did what every accountant does, and I made a spreadsheet. And I sat down and I made all the things of, here's how much my husband makes, and these are our monthly expenses, and can we make this work? I sold my car. We did all sorts of things that you do when you're desperate to make something happen. Baby number 2 came. I said peace out to that career. I had everything at my fingertips. Dream world, right? Stay at home mom to 2 kids under 2 years old. I'm going to be a Pinterest mom. I'm going to craft. World is going to be great. And I had a 2-year-old who didn't nap. And I had a colicky baby who spit up everything that you put into his body. And it was really, really hard. And then on top of that, we didn't have any money. So my spreadsheet was pretty. The problem was I didn't account for anything that might pop up when you didn't actually plan for it, which happens when you have children. When my son was 8 months old, he got hospitalized with pneumonia and a double ear infection and bronchiolitis. So I was sitting in the hospital, which turns out to be blessing in disguise, but you can't sleep when your baby's like half lifeless, right? So I'm holding his hand in the seat that he's sleeping in, and I started scrolling my phone. Mind you, this was 7 years ago. So this was February of 2014. Scrolling my phone, it's about 1 a.m., and my girlfriend from college posted about this challenge group in this program called 21 Day Fix. And I didn't really know what all was included. I saw her posting. It had been about a year since she had been a coach, and I watched her. She was happy, and she was fit, and she was like doing all the things and traveling. And I was like rolling my eyes at her all the time. And then this time it got me because I had a child who didn't have his health. And it reminded me that without your health, you have nothing. So I messaged her, and bless her heart, that hardworking coach, she messaged me right back at 1 a.m. And there we were having our conversation about what all goes into it. I didn't want to be a coach. Didn't want to be part of that. I just needed home workouts because I wasn't about to put that baby in daycare and do anything. I just got home with them, right? So I got introduced to 21 Day Fix. 16 days later, before I ever even finished the first round of 21 Day Fix, I signed up as a coach because the community changed my life. It gave me the things that I gave up when I left my career, when I left that independence, when I left other supportive women. I was home talking to a 2-year-old and an 8-month-old. Like, it was not what I imagined stay-at-home mom life was going to be like. So I signed up as a coach, quickly went through the phases of, I'm going to sign up as a coach because I need the discount and I'm not leaving this because this just makes sense. So give me the discount. A few days later, I learned that I could actually earn some commission by selling it off to my family and friends. I was a walking billboard because, I lost 3 pounds in 21 days. So I was like, guys, this is amazing. And I was just genuinely happy. I was happy. I loved it. I shared it. I invited people to try it. And I was coaching without even really knowing that I was essentially coaching, right? Like, I wasn't doing anything on social media yet. So I didn't use it, but I was sharing it with anybody that I came across. I hit this little thing called Success Club, and people started recognizing me and shouting me out on social media. And I was like, I don't even know what I just did, but I loved every piece of what I was getting into. I was clueless. I didn't know that I started a business. I was accidental entrepreneur because this isn't what I set out to do. I left my career because I needed to be home with my babies. I didn't think that I was going to be working anytime soon. And it took me a really long time to switch my mindset from a stay-at-home mom to now a work-at-home mom. Like, I remember when I stopped using the hashtag on my posts of stay-home mom, because I'm like, I'm now a work-at-home mom. But this business came back and gave me that childhood dream that I had, that I wanted to be a successful businesswoman. And when my mind changed, changed my mind, and I wanted to be home with my babies, this gave me both. So this business, when I say it has changed my life, has changed everything about our physical, financial, our mental health, our state, and the people who I've been able to meet along the way. So one day somebody asked me, they're like, what keeps you going? What keeps you, 7 years in, like, you're still posting your workouts, right? Like, Alyssa, I never thought I'd be posting. Like, who cares? A lot of people, because they need it, because we get to make a difference. And all I think of is, if I stop today, tomorrow there could be the Megan who was like me, sitting there missing something, financially strapped, needing the community, needing something to pull her in to this incredible world. And I'm that person who gets to do it. And that's what keeps me showing up on social media, sharing every day. Want to talk to you guys a little bit just on the sense that this is a business. And I know it kind of seems like maybe too simplistic, right? Like, we're like, well, we worked out and we got results and we love our friends and we all love each other so much, so you should just do it. But it is a business, and it's legit and it's real. And it comes from simply like you take the pieces and you put it together. You get the results. You start sharing it on social media. You have the success in this challenge group. So now inviting people to come be a part of it just makes sense, right? Like, who wouldn't want to be a part of this? Like, you can buy products anywhere. You can buy shakes anywhere. You can go to any gym. You can go to YouTube and do any fitness you want to do. But we get to give the missing piece, which is the community that makes sure that people don't just buy a thing or search a YouTube video, but do it right. We have the world-class trainers. We have the world-class nutrition. We have all those things. We bring it all together for people. And by doing so, we get to earn a commission off of bringing this into people's lives, in the same way that if they were to go pay a gym membership, that gym's getting the money, now you are. So we earn commissions directly from the things that people buy from us. But I've, from the beginning, always said it's not selling, it's sharing. I mean, yes, arguably I'm a salesperson. I make commission off of what people buy from me, but I never look at it in that manner. It's always been my ability to share what's worked for me. I mean, I will straight up tell you, I don't have any background in nutrition, fitness, social media, none of that stuff, but I can tell you what's worked for me. I can tell you what I think will work for you, and I can encourage you to give it a try. And if it doesn't work, I'll help you fix it. And I think that's what makes coaching so relatable, is that anyone truly can do it. But like Rachel said, you have to first make that decision that you want to do it, that you want to change, that you want to inspire other people, that you want to hold yourself accountable. If you don't want to, it's not worth it. But when you make that decision that you are, and that you really genuinely want to take this gift that you've been giving and share it with other people, it doesn't matter what anything else comes in your way and how busy you are, or if you think you're not at you still need to lose X amount of pounds before you feel like you're where you need to be, you just start sharing. And when you start sharing and that first person says to you, you changed my life. Because of you, I am fill in the blank, you'll realize that you can't stop, because there's going to be somebody else the next day who needs to hear the message that you're sharing. And that's the circle and the cycle of what we do, how it all kind of keeps on going, and how we take all those pieces of our journey and essentially turn it into a business. So those are our stories for you for tonight. I hope that was helpful. We do have time if anyone has any questions.
Yeah. What questions do you have for us? Obviously, we've covered, you are your business in a very positive way, not in a you need to look perfect and have a perfect body. Now I would kill for Megan's abs, but I don't have her abs. But like we all, we all are literally just every day showing up for our body, for our health, for our families, and that is the foundation of our business. And then we get to share it, and we invite people to do it with us. And so when you become a coach, we teach you what we're doing. I love that this is an integrity-based business. Like, I can't teach you to be a successful coach if I'm not doing the things that I need to do to be a successful coach. I can't teach somebody else to love their body if I'm not loving my body, right? If I'm not doing the things that help me be my healthiest self. And so we literally get to teach you, we'll plug you into a workout program, a nutrition plan, teach you how to use social media, teach you how to invite, teach you how to run a challenge group like Kimberly and Alyssa talked about. And so that is what we get to do to mentor you. Now, I will never say that you will be a success overnight. This is not a get rich quick scheme. That's hard to say. It definitely takes consistent effort, whether you have an hour, whether you have 2 hours. I had like an hour legitimately when I started. Now I have 3 to 4 hours, a day, but that's the max that I work my business. So we basically get to help you reach the goals that you have for yourself and teach you how, and you show up and meet us halfway and take action. So what happens next is that you reach out to the coach who invited you here, whether you're watching this playback or you're on here live. If you don't have questions, you're free to ask us anything. That's what we're here for. But what happens next is you reach out to the coach who invited you here. They're going to help you get signed up either with a challenge pack with access to our workouts and nutrition plans and Shakeology, which we're all such believers in, or something, some other products. And they're going to plug you into a new coach training. And then if you are already a challenger, you have all that stuff, you can definitely just sign up to be a coach. It costs $40 and you just start to build your business. And then if you are military, Beachbody does offer discounts and you don't pay coaching fees, things like that, which is amazing. But basically you just need to start. You just need to start your workouts, become a part of a challenge group, start posting on social media, and we'll help you as you grow your business. So I know that our new coach training starts over every Tuesday, actually every Monday of a new month. And so that is where we are going to plug you in. Pamela asked active duty military or veteran too. Both. Yep. Active duty and veterans don't pay coaching fees. So if you are one or both of those or a spouse of a veteran or active military, you don't pay any coaching fees. I love that about Beachbody. I think it's amazing. And so, so you don't pay anything. That's right. Good question. Anybody else? Do you guys have any questions for us before we let you go for the night? Nobody? Okay. All right. Well, definitely. Okay. Oh, Nicole. Yeah, it is a full-time job for me. It's a full-time job for Megan. It's a full-time job for Erica now and Kimberly. Actually, most of the coaches you heard from tonight, it is our full-time job. And when I say full-time job, I mean, Kimberly, Megan, you guys can unmute if you want to, but how many hours a day do you work? I homeschool my kids, which I spend more time teaching my kids than I do building my business. But my business, again, Team Beachbody does not guarantee you an income. You have to show up and do it and work for it. But I built my business in 1 to 2 hours a day for 2 years. Third year, probably started to work more like 3 or 4 hours a day. I came home, and still, a full-time business for me where I put in 3 to 4 hours a day is it's great. That's great for me. It's better than what I was doing before. So yeah, Helen says it's a full-time job for her. So, it is possible. It is possible. If it wasn't, we wouldn't be here tonight telling you all about it. So yeah.
Yeah, and it's really whatever you want. One of my girlfriends said on one of these calls once, she said, if you think you have the time to coach, or if you think you don't have time to coach, you're right. You don't. Nobody has the time. Nobody's like, I've got 42 hours this week to fill with another full-time job. What should I do? Like, nobody has it that way, but you all make time for what you want. Like, I mean, my kids just joined 2 travel hockey teams. Do you think we had that much extra time to drive them to 5 nights a week? No, nobody has the time, but you make it happen because it matters. So the business is the same thing. You just make it work because it matters to you. And in the beginning, it was definitely, I mean, I didn't have anybody to help. So in the beginning, it was definitely like, maybe like 30 minutes a day, or, jumping on these calls and just trying to learn as much as I could, and watching YouTube videos and really soaking in as much as I could. But my work with people was definitely not a lot because I didn't have anything to do yet. I started just, pouring into the other people in the challenge group and kind of supporting them just because they were there. And I was like, why not? So I kind of supported my coaches, people that were in there. And then as I got more people, and then my support to them grew, my hours grew, and it's changed. But this is actually the first year that my kids have been in school. So my son what was it? March, whenever the first time they went to school full time, right? So for 7 years that I built this, I always had somebody home with me, at least like a half a day. So it's all been very much built for me on, I always say, I call it the mom pockets of time. Like even tonight, like we went to the baseball field early for my son's game because my husband's a coach. So from 5:30 to 6, there wasn't a game, but we had to be there early. So I could message people from my phone while we're sitting there waiting. So it's always very much like, I don't ever, well, now I can, but for years, I didn't have like hours to sit at my computer and work, but I'd find the pockets where I can pop an earbud in while I'm folding a load of laundry, or I can pop an earbud in while I'm cooking dinner and listen to these calls and these playbacks and soak in what I can. So it is what you make of it. I will say that you get out what you put in, and it takes a while. It's like getting a train going. So like, you've got to get the momentum going. If you stop it, you're going to stop your business. But if you can just keep those wheels turning and going at all times, you might fluctuate day to day, but as long as you don't stop, it's going to keep building your momentum in the business.
Good question. You guys have any other questions for us? You're welcome, Nicole. You're welcome. All right. Well, that is it. We will share this recording. So if you want to watch it again, or, definitely if you have any questions, ask the person who invited you here. But we really look forward to welcoming some new people to our team, and honestly, hearing your stories in a year or 2 or 7, like me and Megan. But we're thankful that you took the time to listen tonight, and we will talk to you guys soon. All right. Bye, you guys.
Good night, ladies.